Listen, if you don't want your loved ones to suffer, you need to know this. Even other healthcare professionals don't know this, and I always get hate for it, but people at the end of life should be dehydrated. We don't want our loved ones to suffer at the end of life, so let's talk about it. Even if we were to give IV fluids at the end of life, those IV fluids would not stay intravascular and hydrate our loved one. Okay, so first off, our bodies know how to die. We are literally built to survive birth, and we are built to die. And the less we mess with that process, the more peaceful that will be. So let's just say a family insists on giving IV hydration despite what I'm telling them, right? What happens is, instead of that fluid that we're giving through the IV staying intravascular in our vascular system, it starts seeping out into something we call third spacing, which causes edema or swelling. It usually starts in the legs, and then eventually the body cannot handle that fluid. So the heart cannot pump it, and then it backs up into the lungs, which causes respiratory distress. I will see this 10 out of 10 times in a dying patient if you gave them IV fluids. So that's the number one reason why you don't want to do this at the end of life. It'll just cause them to go into respiratory distress. And if we're trying to have someone die a natural death, we don't want them to be in respiratory distress. So it won't even hydrate the person like we want it to. Also, because the body knows how to die, if we keep it dry or dehydrated at the end of life, it'll go into ketosis. And ketosis actually dulls pain nerves, makes you not hungry and thirsty, and also gives you a feeling of euphoria. So at the end of life, they can actually feel better the drier they are. Also, another cool thing the body does at the end of life will raise our calcium levels up. And when the calcium level goes up, we get really tired and really sleepy. So basically we just go to sleep. The reason why people don't talk about this is because so many people don't deal with the end of life, including other healthcare professionals. And I was one of them. So I worked in the ICU for many, many years. And in the ICU, we're trying to keep people alive. And we just pump people full of fluids because that's all we know. And then we kind of treat the back end. So we pump them full of fluid, and then we have to put them on machines to keep them breathing, and then diurese them, which means take off all the fluid. And we're just so used to trying everything to keep people alive that we don't ever learn how the body actually dies naturally. So it took me a full year of being a hospice nurse to even learn all of this. And I think even in our own healthcare system, as other healthcare workers, we just don't learn about death and dying. We don't learn about how the body naturally dies. So it's a common misconception even in the healthcare world. So what do you guys think? Is this new to you? Is this surprising? Don't forget to put your questions in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more death and dying information.